So, moving forward to French folk song. This one is still going to be the key of D, so we don't need to learn any new fingerings. Everything is just as it has been. It'll be open, 1, 3, 4, open, 1, 3, 4, for everything. Basically, we just take a look at French folk song for just a second. We don't have any sharps or flats out of the ordinary. We don't really have any notes that we haven't seen before. We've got a bunch of quarters and then dotted halves. So it should be a nice, straightforward roll through this particular song. This is actually in 3/4. Everything that we've been doing before is in 4/4. So this one is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 setup here. So instead of 4 quarter notes, instead of a count of 4 and the quarter notes getting the beat, this is a count of 3, but quarter notes still get the beat. So first time through, go ahead and watch and listen, and then the second time through, go ahead and join me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So, looking at how this is put together, there's a couple different parts. There's the beginning part. There's the response. And then it goes into a second section. And then it repeats the second section up a step. And then we have the ending part. This is a fairly standard, fairly common setup for a song. French folk song is a ton of people have played it. It dates back to, I'm not entirely sure when, but it's a standard. One of the things moving forward that you can also kind of take a look at is how music is put together. We've seen a little bit of that with the theme and variation from Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And being able to look at, to analyze a piece of music, not only visually, but also auditorially, so that you can hear how things are put together and how the building blocks fit together, can really help you better understand and better interpret a piece for performances. So, again, I apologize, gotten off track a little bit, but let's go ahead and start with the first section. So it'll be the first 4 measures. So let's go ahead and play that. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so that is a discrete chunk. Let's go ahead and play measure 4 through measure 8. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, let's go ahead and play measure 9 through measure 12. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then let's go ahead and play measure 12 through measure 16. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then finally, let's play measure 17 to the end. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So with this is how I go through and I work on practicing harder pieces of music, basically chunking up a passage, or in this case, we're just taking the individual pieces and parts apart to work on them individually. And then at the end, you can go through and put all of it back together so that you have the completed song. Um, this is a very useful technique that I really wish that I had learned earlier on, because up until I learned it, I just kind of beat my head against the music, and I would play what I could play, and instead of working on the trouble spots by breaking up the chunks, I would play the beginning, or whichever section I was most familiar with, most comfortable with, and then I would play into the hard part and just kind of like do the best that I could and hammer away at it. And I wasted a lot of time when I could have been making a lot more progress if I had been chunking up to be able to isolate the sections that I was having trouble with and be able to, work through the hard sections, get those up to standard, and then be able to put everything together. So, as the last thing that we do today, we'll run through French folk song from beginning to end, and then why don't you join me? So, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And with that, go ahead and take some time this coming week, or whatever your practice intervals are, so that you can work through the variations. Definitely work on the D major scale with your tuner, so that you can work on developing that hand shape, so that you know instinctually where your 1, your 3, and your 4 are supposed to go. Yeah. Other than that, thank you for joining today, and I hope you all have a good week. Take care.